Hi, my name is Poinard, and for my paper and this presentation I picked the developed country of England. Like the US, England uses the bottom-up pattern, which means that all disasters and emergencies are first handled at the local level and then move up as needed. England also uses LRFs, which stands for Local Resilience Forums. They are a big part of the response team and are composed of primary and secondary responders that specialize into the hazards of that particular area. They are in charge of creating plans, conducting experiments, and exercises, and handling the disasters hands-on. On these slides, you have a chart of examples of responders, agencies, and organizations involved in emergency management in England. England faces a wide variety of disasters, but usually they are not frequent. Here is a chart of some of the most notable disasters and emergencies England has faced just in the last century. As you can see, disasters range from fires to explosions to boating accidents to riots to bombings and to flooding. So there is a wide variety, however the frequency of all those disasters is usually very low. However, one disaster persists year by year. Flooding has been an issue for England since the beginning. A lot of big cities are founded on what is called floodplains. As you can see on the first picture from the right, floodplains are flat surfaces of land near bodies of waters that are prone to flooding. You may ask yourself, why were they building cities there in the first place? Well, Romans and British monarchs needed the big cities to have ports for trading. There was also a later issue once the Industrial Revolution started in England and the rest of Great Britain, since they needed cities to be near water for power generation purposes. In the first picture from the left, you can see a map of England. This recent picture has red and orange dots all over England, which are actually flood alerts or flood warning that are happening that day in England. As you can see, that covers a big portion of England that are right now, that day, either currently flooded or about to be. Floods have been more frequent and have had more impact due to sedimentation, which causes the river courses to become elevated, or even climate change, which causes snow to melt faster and the level water to rise. Floods have been known to cause a series of damages such as loss of life, infrastructure damages, property damages, loss of crops, spreading of toxic waste, landslides, and the list continues. So why do people still continue to live there? Well, it's cheap. It's also easier to build on than a hill. Some people prefer the scenery, and it's good for farming, unless of course you get flooded and lose everything. However, nowadays, due to water levels rising, the risk zones keep increasing, which means that places that have never been flooded ever before, or not in a long time, might not be so lucky anymore. Unfortunately, there is no current long-term solution. A lot of the solutions they've tried in the past have ended up causing more damage than the original disaster would have if left alone. An example of that is the bursting of barriers, which cause flash flooding on a massive scale instead of retaining a potential flooding hazard. Emergency management in England continues today and every year to plan and mitigate and recover from floods in order to better prepare for the next year. Thank you for your time and everything.